Thank you for joining me today. This is Scott here from DestroyTheOdds.com, Expert Advisors. The first thing I want to make a point here is that this video is not going to be about knocking down other Forex Expert Advisors because I'm going to show you that if you use the expert advisors that I have to offer or anybody else's expert advisors, that you can make money in the Forex market using them. So let's get right to it. First thing I'm going to show you is I'm going to take you to my website. This is my website, Destroy the Odds Automated Trading. So it's destroytheodds.com. So if you want to get a hold of me, go to destroytheodds.com. If you want to see the Forex robots that I offer, just click on robots up here. And then just click this, click here to view all MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5 expert advisors. It'll take you to the MQL5.com website. When you get here, what you're going to see is the expert advisors that I have published here. You'll see the newest one here is Magdalena. It's a brand new expert advisor we just released. This is probably the oldest one I have. It's called EA Monster, Multiple Strategies. That's been around for several years. Goldilocks is relatively new. Hedging Grid Monster is also pretty new. Automated Forex Strategies is also kind of old a little bit. Aggressive Grid Sniper is pretty old, and Aggressive Breakout is pretty old. They've been on the market for a while now. I do have live accounts that you can see here. Now, just a note here. I was developing these robots for the last 3 or 4 years and did not do a lot of live trading. Just didn't have the funds to do it. I spent most of my money developing these algorithms and spending a lot of money doing that. I just did not have the funds to put into it. And also, I didn't have the experience either. That's what I'm going to share with you today, is the experience and what I've learned on how to make this work. If you rely on just one expert advisor and one strategy, you're probably going to fail. It's going to eventually destroy your account. I can't say that's 100% fact, but it's very likely. That's why most people get discouraged when they come into this market. They try one strategy, one exciting robot, one exciting strategy. They see a great back test and then it fails on them because of some crazy thing that happens in the market. So what I'm going to do is try to bring this down to reality for you. If you notice here, the strategy that I use is diversified robots, diversified strategies, diversified settings. You'll notice that I have this Goldilocks Live 1 here. Yes, it's been 16 weeks and it only has 10%. I've changed the strategy a couple times. It's in profit. Doesn't have an exciting profit, 10%. But if you look across the board here, here's one 6 weeks, 5% on Magdalena. Here's Magdalena Live 3. There's a 12% growth on that one. Aggressive Grid Sniper is on a demo account here. This is 41% growth, but that's actually been out there a couple years trading very consistently. It was kind of a test run that I ran, but I'm not going to pay much attention to this 41% right now. I'm looking at the short term, over the past couple months of returns. If you look at Hedging Grid Monster Live, that's a 15% growth in just 5 weeks here. So you're looking at just a little over a month, you get 15% return on that, and I'll show you how I did it. EA Monster Live doesn't have much growth here in 29 weeks, but remember, this is kind of a little deceptive because 29 weeks, it's on an account where I had it on and off, so it's not really accurate, but it is about a small growth there. And this is the bot that has the most settings out of all of them that I have. Magdalena Live 2, 4%. So if you look at this across the board, in just a few months, you're looking at 8%, 23, 30-something percent, a little over 40% of, if you look at this, a little over 40% of a return in about 3 months, right? Pretty good guess, right? So if you're looking at a 40% return if you diversify your robots and you diversify your settings, and also the diversification allows you to not do so well in some of them. Some of these aren't doing that well. Some of the settings I picked out aren't doing well. It doesn't mean the robot's bad, it just means that I didn't choose the right settings for it, because some of these can produce a lot more than what you see here. But what I'm trying to do is not blow out any of these accounts. I'm trying to not go into a negative balance. So with a 40% return and none of these failing, I'd say it's doing pretty well. So if you were to get 40% in just 3 months, if you get 50% to 100% return in 1 year using multiple strategies, multiple robots, that's very realistic to achieve. Yes, you can get 1,000, 2,000, 3,000% with high risk, high dollar amounts, but you can also blow out your account just as quick. So beware of those. But if you're looking for realistic, real returns that you can do, I'm going to show you how to do it today. Okay? So let's get into one of the strategies that I use, and I'm going to be using it more and more and more. It's relatively new. This is Goldilocks. It's actually using a thing that it's called limited martingale, and I'll explain what I mean by that. Limited martingale is not full-on martingale. Full-on martingale is like doubling up your lot size to infinity until you get into a profit. So the likelihood of blowing out your account is extreme there. What limited martingale does is, I'll show you here. If you notice, this is the first trade. If it loses, it will increase the lot size gradually. Like right now, it went up to it doubled the lot to 0.02, but it's not going to keep doubling. It'll stop at a certain point. And let me show you here. Let's see if it loses again. It lost again, and it went to 3. So it went it started out incremental, 1, 2, 3. And if you notice the graph here, we had a loss and then a win, then a loss, and then a win, and then a win, 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 and then a couple losses here. What you're going to see is that limited martingale will recover without the risk that you get using full-on martingale. If you look at the inputs on here, you're going to see that the limited martingale I have set at a 1.8 factor instead of 2. We are going to reset the lot size after 5 losses, which that means is like you don't want to keep trading and doubling your lot size over and over and over again. You're going to probably trigger a margin call on your broker, or you're just going to wipe out your account if you just keep doing it. So limited martingale, this is just my preference. I allow only 5 attempts to recover the trade. And so let's take a look and see how this works. I'll let this thing run for a few more minutes here so you could see what happens now. We have this 0.03 lot here. It just won and it reset back to a 0.01 lot. So as we lost here, it went up. And if you look at the graph, when it loses, the limited martingale makes an attempt to catch up and recover. Now, will this work forever? No, nothing's going to work forever. So that's why we diversify. We diversify our accounts. I'd recommend multiple brokers, multiple Forex brokers, multiple Forex Expert Advisors. You can use any expert advisor you like that you're comfortable with. But remember, don't rely on any one 100%. And get rid of it, or either stop using it or limit how much you use it if it's too risky and you see that it's starting to lose a lot. So like I said, run about 5, maybe 6 different settings, or 6 different strategies. And as you see, this one has won a modest profit over a period of 1 month. And this was just running for a little over a month here. While you have that running, you would go in and open up another one. That was MetaTrader 5, by the way. That was using Goldilocks and MetaTrader 5. This one here is EA Monster Multiple Strategies. This one here uses a little bit different. This is more of like a 10 pip kind of sniper using Bollinger Bands. And just keep in mind, this robot here has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different ways you could set up different strategies. So let's take a look and see how this is trading. This one here, it just opened up a buy order here when it exited the upper Bollinger Band. It's going to go for just 10 pips. Let's see what happens. And it did. It got 10 pips. You know, obviously a modest $1. But I know it doesn't sound really exciting, $1, but if it was a 0.1 lot size here, you would have $10. And also you're running multiple strategies, multiple settings on multiple brokers, and this $1 adds up when you mix it in with all the other settings that you're using. So what this strategy does also, I have a thing called alt trades. It's not going to open up another buy until after it opens up a sell. So using this Bollinger Band strategy, we're just going to grab 10 pips when it goes up through the upper band, and it's going to wait to go down to the lower band to get 10 pips on a sell. As soon as it pierces through and closes a candle, it just did it. You see, it closes this out here with 10 pips, and it will not open any more sells. The idea behind this strategy is that if you keep on trading in one direction, eventually it's going to reverse on you and you're going to have to take a loss. We don't know how long this is going to be. Like this one here was a very short, yeah, it could have grabbed more pips, but look at this reversal right here. It could have just kept on going down. So we grabbed the 10 pips, we got out, now we're waiting for the sell trade to come in. Now we're going to wait for a buy trade to come in. This is how it works. Now it's not a whole lot of profit 10 pips, but that's just this one strategy in this one setting. There's hundreds of other settings that you can load into this robot. So with this one robot, EA Monster, you can literally dive in and diversify your account, you know, hundreds of different ways. So we're just going to take a look at this really quick here. Then I'm going to show you another robot, our newest one, Magdalena, which is actually quite aggressive. So we have this opened up the buy, now it's opening up the sell. And what you see here, this yellow line here actually is a grid recovery system. It's actually using an average daily range grid recovery system, so it's a smart grid recovery. And what it's going to do is it'll open up a, you know, a modest, limited grid size, a little bit larger than the previous one, and it'll only go so far. I think it uses a factor of 1.3, so it's not going to get too aggressive on you, and it will usually recover fairly quickly. But this is something that you always got to watch out for too when you're using these grid recovery systems, because obviously that can be dangerous if the market decides that it wants to go in one direction with no retracement whatsoever, or a very minimal retracement. That's where you get caught, and that's why you need to diversify these accounts in order to hedge yourself against those kind of dangers, because if one's doing bad, maybe another one's going to do extremely well. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next example I want to show you. So I'm going to go over here to the MetaTrader 5. We have a bot. The newest one is called Magdalena. It's brand new. Just going to show you. It's actually quite sophisticated of an algorithm, and it's uses a lot of limit orders, uses an averaging system, and this one here, right out of the box, if you just click on default and attach it to a chart, you can actually load multiple symbols on this one. So you can load multiple pairs at once. And now the default strategy is quite conservative. I'm going to show you that. I mean, there are some settings that we have that are quite extraordinary, and I'll show you those really quick here. If you go over to Magdalena on our product page and look at the screenshots here, you'll see on this one here, it was a 9-year test here, and the net profit was $30,000 in 9 years, and the maximal drawdown was 12%. And we have quite a few of these back tests. We actually have settings for all of these back tests that you see here. Here's one with a net profit of 98,000 on Euro USD, 9 years. Here's another one on gold, and it's kind of hard to read this. I apologize for that, but I think that's 29,000 in 9 years, something like that. And here's one here, Australian Canadian dollar, $300,000 net profit on that one with a 15% maximal drawdown. Like I said, these settings are available for you on this Magdalena Expert Advisor. Here's Euro GBP and 22,000 on that one. Here's British Pound New Zealand dollar, 30,000, and this was just 4 or 5 years there. And this one here is British Pound Canadian dollar, 9 years, and another one of those where it's kind of hard to read, and I apologize for that. And Australian Canadian dollar again here. I think this is 98,000. Yeah, this is going to be something I probably have to address and make it a little bit easier for you to read. And this one here is $223,000 net profit right here on this Euro USD here. If you have any questions whatsoever, we have a Telegram group right here that you can just click on this link, join the Telegram group, and we have a team of experts that use this Expert Advisor and helped build it as well. I don't take all the credit on this robot because I actually have a team that worked on this one with me and developed it, so they will be able to answer a lot of your questions if you go to the Telegram group. And this one here is 30,000 profit. I think I'm repeating myself here, so let's just go ahead and go back to an example of how it trades. What we're going to do is just load a simple default, and we're going to click start and watch it trade. It's quite aggressive. If you notice that it opens up a buy trade, then it opens up a buy limit with an increased lot size, an averaging system, and it opens and closes trades quite quickly and aggressively. And I'll show you the graph on this one. If you notice, it's constantly trading. It's almost never, it's rarely ever not in a trade. It's constantly trading. And yeah, this was just a month. If you notice, you know, very quickly it remained in profit. And you can, as a matter of fact, let's move that out a little bit. Let's show you what it looks like over a longer period of time here. Let's run that thing. Works quite well. I actually have this one running on, I'm going to show you where I have this one running on. If you go to my product page here, you'll see that this Goldilocks, I'm sorry, this Magdalena Live 01 in 6 weeks, 5%. Some people may say, oh, that's not a lot of money, or that's not a lot of profit, but it's quite low risk. It's very low risk at 5% with a month and a half into it, right? Now you take that 5%, let's just say this was 2 months. Let's just, 2 months times 6 in a year. This would actually be a 30% gain on a very low risk expert advisor using the default setting for Magdalena. Very low risk, but also very aggressive. You'll see there was a little drawdown here. There was a point here just within the past couple months where the market was crazy, and that's what happened here. It went down and quickly recovered. But like I said, you're looking at a 30% return in a year on a low risk setting. Now, obviously, you can use one of those really aggressive ones and try to pull up 800% or 1,000%. That's all very possible as well. If you're looking to go for high risk and high reward, talk to some of my team members in the Telegram group. They'll be able to help you with that because there's always risk involved, as you all should know that, especially when you're using aggressive settings. But what we're looking at here is a very low risk setting, not very aggressive, this one. But like I said, 30% return in a year on one strategy, on one robot, great. Do 30% a year on 6 of them, and you're looking at almost 200% in a year. That's how I do it. And I'm going to show you one more. Hedging Grid Monster is another new one here. And this one here is actually, I actually use it as a semi-auto. What I do is I actually set this to true here, this first input. And I use it as a semi-auto. And when I do that, you're going to see what I mean by semi-auto. It's not going to trade until I click this open button here, right? So if I click this open button right here, what it's going to do is open up, I already closed in profit. See how quick it did it. It's going to open up a buy and sell right away. As soon as I hit it, it opens a buy and a sell, and then it trades a grid system on both sides. And let's do it again. Let's see if we can get this thing to actually, there we go. Let's go. Oh, it keeps closing in profit so quickly. So let's hold on a second. Let me try it again so we could show you how it's trading. All right, it just keeps winning. It's a good problem to have. Okay, let's go ahead, and here we go. This is what I want to show you. And it also closed in profit very quickly. Let's try it again here. All right, this is how it's trading, okay? With Hedging Grid Monster, what we're looking at here is, okay, I was able to stop it. I wanted to show you. It opens up a buy and a sell trade immediately. And then, hold on a second here. Okay, yeah, buy and a sell immediately. And you'll see that the comments area will show Hedge Monster for the buy and the sell. Then Grid P, meaning that it's a profit. It's a grid in profit, and it's going to be incremental. If you notice here, it's quite aggressive, and it opened up a sell at 0.01 and a buy at 0.01. It opens up, it went down, opened up a 0.02, opened up a sell. It decided to go back, went above, opened up 0.02 buy, 0.04 buy, and 0.08. Right about now, it's getting ready to close in profit. And let's see what happens when we let it continue, because now the direction is up. Let's see. Yep. And it did. It accumulates increasing lot sizes as it goes in one direction or the other. It's fantastic. It works great. I developed it with trying to find the Holy Grail, like we all are. It's not the Holy Grail. The bottom line is, if you're going to make money in this market, realize that the market can and it will go against you and destroy you if you don't use a little restraint and wisdom to get out if you have to. But for the most part, something like this, Magdalena, EA Monster, and any one of these bots or somebody else's bots, because there are some good bots out there. I'm not going to knock anybody else's. You can make money in this market. I mean, clearly, you just have to diversify. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, we have Telegram groups for just about all these main ones here. Especially we have one for, like I said, we have the one for Magdalena right here. You can click that. You could, hold on a second here. Yeah, and EA Monster, you can join the Telegram group there. For Goldilocks, we have the Telegram group right here. You can click that. Hedging Grid Monster, I don't have a really active, there's one there too, but I don't have a lot of activity there right now. But join it, ask me some questions, and that should do it. And of course, come here and monitor these live signals. We're going to be very transparent with you, and I'm also going to we'll also let you know what settings we're using for these signals and give you some recommendations. And like I said, don't use just our expert advisors, use other ones, mix them up, find something that works for you, and we'll help you along the way. Have a wonderful day.